Hi, welcome to Mat100 Applied Math. We're going to discuss page 162, section 3.3, converting fractions to decimals. So most times, a lot of students do not like to use fractions, and if they can avoid it by any means, they try. So what we're going to do, I was looking for my calculator here. Put that down over here. But you can do this without a calculator most times. All right, so what I'm going to start out with is just show you the basic idea between how to change a fraction to a decimal. And let's try a simple one here. Let's say we have 4/5, and we want to change that to a decimal. All we have to simply do is divide by the denominator into the numerator, bottom into the top. Because 4/5 is less than 1, we want a decimal answer, a number that's going to come out smaller than 1. Now, 5 can't go into 4, so let's bring up our decimal point. 5 can go into 48 times. So 4/5 and 0.8 have the same value. They mean the same thing. Let me give you an example. Let's try 1/4. 4 into 1, well, 4 can't go into 1, so we add a decimal point and a 0. 4 can go into 10 2 times, right? Let's bring up that decimal point. 4 times 2 is 8. 2 left over. Well, let's add another 0 now and bring it down. We're subtracting here. So 4 into 25, 20, 0. Okay, so 1/4 and 0.25. Well, if you say it that way, it doesn't make much sense. 1/4, 25 cents. 1/4, quarter of a dollar. 4 quarters make $1. See, 25 cents. So we're converting a fraction to its equivalent. Let's take a look at a circle. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 1 shaded out of 4, 1/4. But we have a quarter of the circle shaded, 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 100, one whole circle. So this is the same thing as 0.25, 25ths of a circle. And it's pretty easy to do. You can also use a calculator, but let's try some without it. So I'm going to take 100 into 3. Point, bring it up. No, 0. Can't go in, can it? Let's add another 0. 3. 3 times 100, 300. So 3 over 100 is 0.03. Now you could do the same thing on your calculator. See if we can find a good place. 3 divided by 100, bingo, 0.03. So you just enter it the way it's written. Okay, how about 29 over 20? 20 goes into 29. Well, here we have an improper fraction. See, these were proper. Proper. Now we have an improper. An improper, the top number is too big. Proper, the numerator is always smaller than the denominator. And we talked about that. So 20 into 29 can go. 9 left over. Let's add a decimal point and bring it up, and add a 0 and bring it down. 20 into 90, probably 4 times. 4 times 20, 80. 10. Okay, 20 can't go into 10, which is good. Add another 0, bring it down. 20 into 100, 5. 5 times 20, 100. 20 nickels in a dollar. Okay, so 29 over 20, 1.45. 29 over, see in this fraction bar right here, that's how I made it divide. 20 is 1.45, see? Okay, pretty easy to do, huh? Here's one more. 11, what about 7 over 16? Well, this is going to be a fairly hard number to divide by, but let's try it. And it gives us division practice. Add a decimal point, bring it up. Can't go, add a 0. And, we gotta kind of estimate, and it's going to be, I think, 4. So 16 times 4, let's see what that is, 24. Carry the 2, 64. Let's write it down. 6. Let's bring out another 0. Well, we know it can't go in 4 times because that's 64. So probably 3, 18, 48. 3, 48. Subtract, and of course, borrowing all that good stuff, 12. Add another 0. Now this is kind of a tough division. 16 into 12. Well, we won 3 with 48. Looks like it's got to be considerably bigger. Maybe like 4 doubled. Let's see what 16 times 8 is. 56. 5 and 8 is 13. 4 and 8 is 12. Excuse me. We carry the 4. Well, how did I get a 6 there? 48. Geez. But we see it's too big. So it's got to be 7. Let's multiply that out. 42, carry the 4, 11, 112. Subtract 8. Add another 0. Say I brought down. I like to, sometimes having trouble show it. Not trouble, but show that you're bringing it down. So 16 times, what do you think? Well, 8 is pretty big. Maybe just a little bit bigger than 4, huh? 80. There we go, 5 times. 80. Now, and if you wanted to do it now, if you do it on your calculator, it's going to be, let's stop verify it. 7 divided by 16.4375. How would you say this? 4,375 10 thousandths. 10 thousandths. Okay, but and same thing here, this would be 1 and 45 hundredths. This is 3 hundredths, 8 tenths, 25 hundredths. Okay. Well, let me show you a little something here. If you look in your book, they have a table of conversions, but I'm going to show you the basic ones. This doesn't show through too much. Okay, let's start off with an easy one, the thirds. 1/3 is a repeating decimal. Now, on a repeating decimal, we put the part that repeats with a line over it. So this means it keeps on going with 3s, 0.3333. If, say, it was a repeating decimal and it was repeating like 30, 30, 30, like that, we'll put some lines after it, then you would write it as 0.30 repeating. Okay, what if this one repeated like 2.29797? Then we would put it as 0.2, but just the 97 is repeating. What if it was 0.29777? Then it would be 0.29 with just a line over the 7, like that. So the line is showing just the numbers that repeat. Here, the 2 doesn't repeat. So this means it's going 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. 2/3 is 0.666666666. So those are kind of easy to remember. 2 times 3 is 6. 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 3 is 3.33. 2 times 3 is 6. Just a coincidence, but it helps remember. How about these, the fifths? 1/5, 0.2. And you can check it on your calculator. This would be 1 divided by 5. 2/5, 0.4. 3/5, 0.6. 4/5, 0.8. See a pattern? 2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? And of course, 5/5 would be 1 whole. So fifths, 2, 4, 6, 8. You can multiply the top number by 2. 2, 4, 6, 8. So that's how fifths are. Okay, now let's go through the most common ones are the eighths. Okay, use those a lot. These are a little bit harder. 1/8, 0.125. You might want to write these down and they come in handy. 2/8 is the same thing as 1/4 if we reduce it, and we know that's 0.25. Or you could carry it out another place, 0.250. You can always add behind a decimal. You can put as many zeros as you want. Okay, why, I don't know. 3/8, 0.375. What about 4/8? This one you've probably seen. 4/8 is 1/2. You're probably familiar with that. 0.500, or just 0.5. 5/8. 5/8 is 0.625. 6/8, which is 3/4. 3/4. How much is 3/4? Quarter 25. 3/4, 75 cents. 0.75. And of course, 7/8, a little bit harder, 0.875. So those are a little bit harder. The eighths are a little bit harder, but fourths, halves, 3/4. So those are the most common ones. Thirds, fifths, and eighths. You know, in the book they have 16ths and 32nds and stuff, but these are the ones we use the most. You know, you see a half, sometimes you don't want to use it, change it over. Let's try a few more of these and see if we can do it. Well, here's an interesting one. 2/7. Let's try that one on our calculator. Clear it out. 2, let's turn it on. 2 divided by 7. Let's see, let's write that out. 0.285714286. But actually it's 0.285714285,714. See, your calculator rounded it off. It saw this 5, saw a big number behind it, because it can't go out that many places. Maybe some can. So this whole thing is repeating. On sevens, 6 numbers repeat. How about on nines? 1/9. Let's see what that is. And this is fun to play around with on your calculator. 0.1111111111111. So that would be 0.1 with a line. Or could you write it as 0.11 like that? Yeah, that would be okay. Those all mean the same thing. 300ths, well, that should be 0.03, 3 out of 100. But you can always divide on your calculator. 3 divided by 100. 300ths, see. 300ths. 300. All right, so that gives you an idea here. What about 6 over 16? Even though that can be reduced, let's do it the way it is. 6 divided by 16.375. You probably thought it was going to repeat, huh? Now, if they don't come to an end, let's say we divide something and it just keeps on going, then usually, we carry it out. It'll tell you to carry out 2 or 3 decimal places. but most of the time, they're going to come to an end. Okay, so you're saying, okay, what if I have a whole number? What if this was 2 and 6/16? Well, we just put the whole number in front. 2, because this is the decimal portion. Same thing here. 4 and 300ths, 4.03. 6 and 1/9, 6.1 repeating. See? All right. So you're saying, okay, what if I had a problem like this? 2 and 3/5 plus 1.785. Okay, so we just kind of showed you this little nifty little trick. 3/5 is 0.6. That's where you want to maybe stop the video, write these down. 2.6 plus 1.785. I know you can do this on your calculator, but I enjoyed the old way. Put them underneath each other, line up those decimal points, 5, 8, 13, bring down the decimal, carry that 1, 4, 4.385. If you use a calculator, that's okay. Let's try it. 2.6 plus 1.785, 4.385. All right, let's try one that's a little bit harder. How about this one? 1 and 3, I'm going to put it up here. 1 and 3/25 times 2.08. Now that one does look kind of hard. Okay, well, let's first of all change 3/25 on our calculator. 3 divided by 25.12. So this is 1.12 times 2.08. If you want to do it longhand, you can always use the calculator. This we said was 1.125. 1.12 times 2.08 equals 2.3296. 2.3296. So you get the idea. Change this fraction to a decimal, much easier to calculate. You don't want to try to change this. You could do it this way with fractions, but I know this would be 800ths. But, that's kind of hard. Most people don't like working with fractions, but most likely you'd want the answer as a decimal. All right. Do I have any others here? I think that's basically it. Give it a shot. Try your best on these things. Let's try, just before I sign off, number 12. Looks very interesting. 1.17 divided by 1 and 3/32. Okay. 3 divided by 32 is 1.09375, 1.17 divided by this. Now, if the problem's written this way, that's the way we're going to enter it. Notice I took the time to write this down. 1.17 divided by 1.09375. Let the paper and the pencil do the work. I'll give this horrible number. And this probably was rounded off. 1.069714286. Let's round this off to the hundredths place. 1.0. The 9 says 6 has to become bigger. Now it's rounded to the hundredths place. If we were talking money, you'd want to round it off to the nearest penny. All right. Well, enjoy, and see what you can do. Practice these things, you'll get better.